Mark founded the company in 1999, and his intent at that time was to make from locally grown seeds a bio lubricant, and that's where he started, and actually was to make lubricants that could be used in farming. So if there was a spill, it wouldn't contaminate the soil.
If I'm not mistaken, it started with cranberry seeds, right?
Well, yeah, so what happened is he started working in the cranberry industry, and he actually made a lubricant that was able to be used as hydraulic fluid to be used in the cranberry bogs, so that if there was a spill, it wouldn't spoil the cranberry bog. So, but anyway, his research took him in different directions, and he started looking at more of the fruit, vegetable, and herb seeds, and some of the grain seeds, and he formed some relationships with two doctors at the University of Minnesota, and also with Dr. Lucy Yu, who at the time was at the University of Colorado, and today she's at the University of Maryland. And they started doing a lot of work around these seed types.
Great. Coming back to you. Sorry, we didn't ignore you, Professor. You are an expert, a world expert in something called epigenetics and nutrigenomics. I am sure, can you explain that for the people who've never heard such words before?
Sure. Thank you, Jerry. Now, you asked me, Jerry, about nutrigenomics and epigenetics. I think one of the things we're finding out now that nutrition, back in ancient Greece, people said, or Hippocrates said, that food could be your medicine. Well, now we find out that it can really be true, but we're all a little bit different. None of us are exactly the same, and some of us, food acts differently. For some of you women, when you get old, if you have too much caffeine, you might get osteoporosis. For other people, caffeine may have no effect at all. For some of you, caffeine may put you at risk for a heart attack. Others has no effect at all. So now we can test your genetics and we can make a prediction as to who might be benefited from a certain food and who might have harm. And so you can now sign up for genetic tests all around the world. Maybe you've heard of 23andMe, and you can see which genes you have and certain foods. So we call that epigenetics because the science of epigenetics means the gene expression. Sometimes genes are turned on, and sometimes the genes are turned off. You all know about a butterfly and a caterpillar. The caterpillar has genes for the wings, but the wing genes are not turned on until it becomes a butterfly. Caterpillars have wing genes. They turn on when it becomes a butterfly. The butterfly turns into the caterpillar and has leg genes, many, many leg genes, but they're turned off when it's a butterfly. So we're learning now how we can regulate those genes, and we can do it with food. And now there's a worldwide epidemic of obesity. Some of it is due to chemicals in our environment. And what we're finding now is that sometimes it affects our genes, and they can last for multiple generations. And it's important that we understand that. Eat a healthy diet. I always say eat real food. Seed Plus is a good food. Nutrition provides beneficial things for your diet. But I think that's what's coming in the future. We're going to be able to treat or prevent disease with foods and control your genes and benefit people in a different way than taking medicine.
Thank you, Prof. Okay, coming back to you. We know that under Botanic Innovations, you guys have a patent on a blended seed oil, okay? Can you expand a little bit about that?
Well, sure. As I left off from the last question, that Mark was working with two professors at the University of Minnesota, two doctors. So there were two seed oils that were involved. There was organic black cumin seed, which has got there's a lot of history of that particular seed type and its uses for thousands of years. And there's probably more recent research on black raspberry seed oil. But both are diverse in antioxidants and have a very nice, complementary omega-369 profile. So we did some testing with the early ORAC testing from Brunswick Laboratories back in 2004 on both of the seed oil types. And so we decided to blend them together. And I'm going to use some numbers here just so you'll kind of understand. The antioxidant value was, let's say, 19 on the black cumin seed oil and 21 on the black raspberry seed oil. So you'd expect when you do a 50-50 blend and test it, you would probably have an ORAC value of 20. It turned out we had an ORAC value of 28. So they repeated the test many times, and we ended up filing a patent with the two doctors at the University of Minnesota and with Mark Mueller as the lead investigator on it. So,
so does
that
that
was
mean
starting.
that no other product in the world can have this combination of oil, right? Patented?
It is patented, correct. So, and also in the patent is that so it's not just using those two oils. The patent does require that anytime to use the patent, you have to use black cumin seed oil. But when you blend that with any other of our cold pressed seed oils, there's a synergistic effect. And we've also found that the more oils that you blend together, the higher the antioxidant level.
You also have a proprietary trademark Nature Fresh cold press process. How important is that, and how did that come about?
Oh, we do, and it's, there's probably not a lot of magic to cold pressing. It's kind of everything that happens before that. It's, being able to source seeds and set up standards for the seeds and get them in the house at the right time. Make sure that they're at the right moisture content when it's time to press them. Following, we are a certified organic plant, so we have to make sure that we adhere to all the USDA guidelines on our organic certificate, and then the way we store the material. Our warehouses are heated and air conditioned, so the temperature doesn't vary by more than 10 degrees.
A lot of people ask us about where we get our raw material, the seeds, just the 4 seeds.
United States. The red grape seeds come from the West Coast. And by the way, the red grape seeds have not gone through a fermentation process. They're not used in winemaking. And then the cranberry seeds come from Wisconsin. I didn't even know this. I'm from Massachusetts originally. I thought that's where they grew most of the cranberries. But most of the cranberries in the U.S. are grown in Wisconsin, where our plant is. In the fourth seed type are organic black cumin seeds that come either from Turkey or from Egypt. And we do order and receive only certified organic seeds. And these are certified by an EU agency.
Okay, thanks, Dick. Professor, we have a 4-seed formula, and we have seen many testimonials, and you have met some of the people who have used it, both orally as well as topically, Tell us a little bit what you think is working there.
Thank you, Jerry. And I talked to maybe 10 or 15 of you yesterday about how you see the benefit, particularly on things like skin or maybe some inflammation. One of the things that happens during inflammation is that your body produces oxidation, and it creates the redness that you see when you have some injury on your skin. Well, your body is producing inflammation, and during inflammation you have oxidation. And the antioxidants that are present in the seed oil plus formula can prevent the oxidative damage. Oxidative damage can actually harm the cell outer membrane. And when the cell outer membrane is damaged, it gets leaky. And when it gets leaky, sometimes blood can leak out of a blood vessel, and that's what causes the red color inflammation and swelling. So the antioxidants can prevent the oxidative damage to the tissue. And also the oils that are present can support the immune system. So a strong immune system can help the body protect itself from germs, from viruses, and keep you healthy. So the antioxidant and the immune support and the essential oils working together can repair the damage or prevent the damage. So they work together.
Thanks, Prof. You know, we also have children, women taking the product, and we also have people on medication. How safe is Exasol Plus?
This is a food product. And so it's just, you could eat raspberries by the handful. You could eat cranberries by the handful. You could eat black cumin seed as a food if you're a child or if you're an adult or a man or a woman. And I wouldn't have any concerns about safety. If someone does have a concern, if they have a rare or unusual disease, they should ask their medical doctor. But I think we should always remember that this is a food product. And none of us would hesitate to eat any of the ingredients. If we had a plate in front of me today with all these ingredients, my children would be eating the raspberries or the cumin or the cranberries, and I would be eating them, and I wouldn't have any concern at all.
Some people asked about the packaging in terms of the 1 ounce and smaller volume. And can you explain that a little bit in terms of the water and all this?
Sure, why sure. Our product team got together and developed a team with the active ingredients that we've talked about of, the 4 seed fiber types, 2 oil types, and then the D-ribose and the trans-resveratrol. And at that point, we hired a food scientist in Los Angeles to help us put together the product to help for the taste and for the mouthfeel and also for shelf life. And so we gave her we thought we would want 2 ounce, and she came back to us after a couple of weeks and told us, you know what, I'm really afraid of too much water activity. The more that water you put in a product, the more chance there is of bacteria, yeast, and or mold growth. So she convinced us that we should go to a 1 ounce product, and that's where we ended up. So all we removed was water, none of the active ingredients.
So this is to reduce the chance for bacterial contamination, especially if you're shipping it all over the world and things like that, right?
Correct.
And another question for you is, some people, not here, but some people say that this product is made in China, in Malaysia.
No.
Can you tell us a little bit about where it's manufactured and who does it and how? And
Right. So of the actives, the 4 seed fiber types and the 2 oils are made in our plant in Spooner, Wisconsin, and they're all certified as halal and non-GMO. So, but all the raw materials we order, we get the certificates for. We do heavy metal and pesticide testing on all the active ingredients on every batch.
So we are toxin-free, pesticide-free, herbicide-free.
That's correct, and we are CGMP.
Alcohol-free.
Yeah, yeah. No, that was a little thing we had to do to make the halal certification. We had to do a reformulation of the flavoring. Flavorings a lot of times have quite a bit of alcohol in them. So we had to, I think they still make it with alcohol, but it can't go above a certain threshold when it's put in the product to be halal certified.
Okay, great. Coming back to you, Prof. The special seed that we have inside, the cranberry seed, can you explain a little bit about that? It helps in certain activities in the body. It's rich in omega-3.
But cranberries have been used for a long time. I mean, maybe hundreds of years or longer for urinary tract infections. It's common sometimes if a woman has a urinary tract infection, the medical doctor will say, well, drink some cranberry juice, because that prevents the bacteria from sticking to their urinary tract. And in addition to that benefit, there's also the important essential oils. And we call them essential oils because there's 2 kinds of oils, essential and non-essential. Essential oils are the oils that we don't make in our body. And the only way we get them is by eating them. So it has some essential oils, and they're beneficial, like the omega oils. So they're really valuable in addition to the benefits for urinary health.
Okay, fantastic. So going forward, your relationship with Exa Global and the collaboration, how do you view that going forward?
As I said at the beginning, we're really excited about working with AXA Global. You know, the longer we work with you folks, the more we sure are that we bet on the right horse. You know, this is just going to be a terrific relationship.